I wonder about education skills, especially in Europe. The OECD does regular studies. I wonder, what is the status quo when it comes to these issues at the moment?
Well, you need to look at this in different ways. When you just look at formal qualifications, Europe comes out quite well. Many young people get great degrees. Now, you can see this in Southern Europe. I mean, but at the very same time, you have this toxic mix of, on the one hand, graduates who are unemployed, who cannot find a job, and at the very same time, employers saying that they just cannot find the people with the skills they need. So when you actually look at the right skills, the skills that are relevant, that translate into better jobs, better lives, Europe really struggles. Much of Europe struggles. We also see that kind of polarization. On the one hand, the people in Europe who have great skills actually have better and better life chances. But the people without those right skills risk social exclusion increasingly.
So there is a mismatch between supply and demand. I wonder, why do people study the wrong stuff?
Well, actually, very few people tell young people the truth. You know, if you think about you're a young person, you decide what you want to study, who's actually going to give you good information? Universities sell you the courses that are easy to provide, easy to scale, law and economics and so on. And it's very, very hard to find out as a young person, what are the kind of skills that are really in demand. Employers may tell you what they need today. They're not so good in telling you what they may need tomorrow, what your country needs tomorrow to become competitive. But it's quite good analysis. What we see, for example, non-routine analytic skills, thinking out of the box, ways of thinking, creativity, critical thinking, problem-solving skills. Those things always have high currency. Your capacity to work with others. Today, innovation is no longer about you having a great idea and doing this. It's about you being able to connect your ideas with those of other people, or integrating different fields of knowledge. So those kind of skills are important. But
I wonder about the quality of education in general. We do have different systems around the globe. So we have the private universities, lots of funding. We have the public universities, not so much funding, and actually one of those parts of expenses that sometimes governments tend to cut first. Is, in the long term, the privately funded way of education the winner?
Well, you may be surprised, but actually money explains less than 20% of the performance differences that we see around the world. The world is also no longer divided between rich and well-educated nations and poor and badly educated ones. We have seen lots of surprises. The most successful education systems today, you go to Shanghai in China, Finland in Northern Europe. They don't spend very much, but they actually invest in talent. They ensure that every student has access to great learning. They may have private, they may have public institutions, but they have an education model that actually works for everyone. It's not really about money.
I'm glad to hear that, to be honest with you. Now, let's look at Germany. It's an interesting one because when I look at the way that universities had a high standing, it seems that that seems to be slipping. Why do you think that is?
Well, Germany is not that great at the high end of the skill distribution, at the academic sector. Germany has put a lot of emphasis on vocational skills, connecting the world of education with the world of work, and that has produced great technology, great industries, and so on. But over time, Germany used to be at the very top when it comes to academic institutions. Today, it's in the middle of the pack. So the choice to go out for, put the emphasis on vocational skills has meant that Germany paid a price in terms of losing out a bit at the top end of academic institutions.